Nancy Spence, State Senator from the state of Colorado. I've been involved in the education reform movement for probably 14 or 15 years. It actually started when I was a school board member in my local district for 13 years, and I recognized what some of the shortcomings were in our district, and I recognized after I got to the State House and chaired the Education Committee for 4 years what was needed across the state of Colorado. I started with a voucher bill. This was a traditional, strong voucher bill that I passed in 2003. It was signed by Governor Owens, then the governor of Colorado. We had thousands and thousands of children on the state capitol steps when the bill was being signed, celebrating an opportunity for these low-income, struggling kids to finally have a crack at a decent education. As one would expect, the bill was filed on within 2 to 3 weeks. It was appealed all the way to the Colorado Supreme Court. Ultimately, we lost in the Supreme Court. I had a lot of assistance and help with that bill from the Institute for Justice and from those who were involved in the voucher movement all over the country. It was a good, strong bill that should have held, but it didn't because of a local control issue that Colorado has in the state constitution. That experience told me that going forward, when we're going to work on education reform, it has to be a bipartisan effort. Republicans can't do it alone, Democrats can't do it alone, but if we can come together and design legislation that will be acceptable to the entire General Assembly, or at least enough to get the votes to pass a bill, that's the way to get the most success and the most bang for your buck, if you will. So I've carried bills in the General Assembly for teacher effectiveness and tenure reform. Very successfully with the Democrat senator and with the Democrat and a Republican in the State House. Carried bills on the third grade READ Act, a bill that will assure that a child can read at fourth grade level when they're passed. Controversial bill, teachers hated it, parents hated it, but we finally were able to form a coalition, bipartisan coalition, to get that bill passed as well. Again, it has to be a bipartisan effort. Right now we're working on a new School Finance Act in Colorado. It's going to take a tax increase, it's going to have to go to a vote of the people. We're going to need Republicans and Democrats both aligned together to get that bill passed. Colorado spends almost half of its general fund money on K-12 education, and we're not getting the results that we should get. So it's going to take a lot more reform. We've come a long way with charter schools, with innovative schools, with lots of school choice all across Colorado. So the opportunity is there with bipartisan support to really make a difference for children in the state of Colorado.